To Good Morning Anambra Friday edition, last Friday of July. Yes. Today is 25th July,
Yes.
2025.
All right, you're welcome to Good Morning Anambra show. It's a pleasure to have you on the show again, just as usual. My name is Nonya Ngokoye. Good to have you.
And my name is Ife Onachuku. Stand by as we bring to you press review. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the press review on ABS television this beautiful morning. We've been joined by a public affairs analyst, Mandy Ezenago. You're welcome to the studio, Mandy.
Thank you. Good morning.
Welcome. All right, let's
So what you take style, which style where to yafa.
All right. Yeah, let's take a look at some of the stories making their headlines on ABS website. That's the first place we are going this morning.
Yes. Okay, should I? Okay, we have these stories. Ludo appoints a chop from Abia, Accountant General of Anambra State. Anambra Health Commissioner BDK restates state government's commitment to improving healthcare access throughout rural areas. Humanitarian Affairs Minister Nentawe Namadi named national chairman of APC. EU allocates funds to provide urgent humanitarian assistance to displaced persons in Benue. WWE Hulk Hogan dies at 71. UK, India signed trade agreement to reduce tariffs on goods. And finally, Russian rescue services found wreckage of disappeared plane. That's an update. And these are the things we have on ABS website. I don't know your thoughts about the allocation of funds to provide urgent humanitarian assistance to displaced persons in Benue. We've had a lot of stories about IDPs suffering and all.
A huge sum at that was allocated.
Was allocated, and then they're not feeling it. So I don't know your thoughts on that.
From the issue of Benue, before we talk about the release of the allocation to people living in Benue, let us see if this constant insecurity in Benue can be stopped first. Because because we have to tackle the situation from the head, not creating IDP and the rest of that. Now, we have to bring a solution that will prevent people going into IDP. Then the funds that is being released for these people in IDP can be used to fight insecurity in Benue State. So that is the thing. That is where we have to first treat before we start looking at.
That's been a long time
in IDP. So you see, the funds. If you look at these funds, they take up even the people that these funds are meant for. It doesn't get to them. There is no security of life. There is no security of property. There is no security of food. There is no security of education. No, there is no type of security that we can assure to the people of Benue State. So I believe that at this time, the governor has to go to the federal government to seek for help. So that this should be a local government, state and federal battle to fight insecurity in Benue State. And once this security is being handled, you find out that there will be no issue of IDP and funds allocations and the rest of them.
Now this fund was allocated by EU,
a
foreign organization.
Yes.
Do you understand? That means federal and state government.
Yeah, that was weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. That was when the funds were allocated, and I knew that we are in Nigeria. Once these funds comes in, the people that these funds are meant for, they either see little or nothing from these funds.
Okay.
All right, the death of Hulk Hogan. Who doesn't know Hulk Hogan? I know that I'm not really a fan of boxing or whatever.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. But I used to hear that name growing
I
up.
think that story is on Cat the Boss today.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I think Hogan has been a fan right from when I was a child. Apart from WWE, he's also a Hollywood star. So these are the two major roles he plays for America.
Okay, on Catch the Boss, we'll talk about some controversies, following him.
Okay.
And then how he also gave his life to Christ. He said he did his baptism, before, just few months before he died.
Okay.
So let's just believe that his sins have been wiped away.
All
And
right.
he's
Our condolences to the family. Let's move on now to the first paper for review. The Daily Times newspaper. Let's see stories making the headlines in front of that paper. Now, Professor Yilwada emerges new APC chairman, pledges unity, party rebuild. Other stories, cholera outbreak claims 13 lives in Niger as infections spread. Coalition against APC, desperate attempt, lacks ideology. Speaker Abbas. 2,447 people displaced in Berum land youth group claims. NIDCOM begins evacuation plan of Nigerians stranded in CAR. Create ranches to end farmer-header clashes, CDS Musa urges. PDP holds National Convention November 15, 16 in Ibadan. Quickly, we take a look at the punch before we talk. Post-NEC meetings, APC PDP set stage for EPIC 2027 face-off, which we ride new APC chair Yilwada vows Tinubu's return. Makinde Bala lead PDP governors in 2027 power takeover plot. Other stories, stay slashing power tariffs must pay subsidy coming from NEC. 14 villagers, policeman killed in Plateau attacks. Natasha to serve out suspensions in Senate as Senate enters the recess. Makinde unveils new Oyo tourist hub. Fake customs officer arraigned after scamming victims of 34 million naira. Wow. APC power chest, Yilwada pick brightens Shetima Northeast 2027 chances. These are some of the stories we are trending this morning. A lot of stories on politics there.
Yesterday we were talking about APC NEC meeting and other things.
They entered a meeting yesterday,
They entered the
right?
meeting, and we were actually, we were worried about their having this meeting without a national chairman. And look at us now, having a national chairman. Do you think that this will help the APC during this period of, I don't know,
to achieve their dream.
to achieve their dreams?
Because the man is already promising to deliver Tinubu come 2027.
Yes, it's not all about, because like when he was making his statement, he was also talking about the party's constitution and the rest of that. It's not all about constitution. What we are talking about now is the ideology of the party. Will you bring a new ideology that Nigerians already have about this party? Because once you mention APC in Nigeria, the first thing that comes to mind is APC. They make promises, they don't fulfill their promises. APC is a party where Nigerians that have where a citizen or a leader or a politician that has one financial case or the other runs into and is safe. So the narrative of APC, first of all, has to change. The ideology Nigerians have about APC, it has to change also. And who will change this? Is the new national chairman. And if he succeeds in that, that means all these promises that he's bringing about, that he will be fulfilled. It will change the mindset of Nigerians. That is the ideology. Let's not to mention about the constitution and the promises. Let's look at the ideology that this new national chairman is bringing to the office.
All right, there's this story in front of the Punch, revelation from the Chief of Defense Staff that Nigeria is harboring over 200 million illegal arms. I wonder where this is coming from and how true this report can actually be coming from CDS.
If you are talking about these illegal arms, what about the bandits? That is where we have to start from. How did they get these arms and what makes it illegal? These are the things that we have to look into. Yes, okay, we are aware of this. What provisions, what have you done to ensure that more of illegal arms doesn't come more in Nigeria, or Nigeria doesn't have access to more illegal
or
arms?
even efforts to mop up those illegal
Yes.
you know they are there.
There was a time during Buhari's administration that they mopped up, they collected, asked people to surrender their small arms.
Yes,
like they called it.
The vigilante, those were vigilante, and it was a state. When, during the time of Buhari's administration, there was a lot of insecurity. Now some states have to now create their own vigilante to ensure that their states is secured and safe, just like Anambra State. And Anambra State was among the states. And at the end of the day, it was raised by the distinguished Senator Victor May to exempt Anambra State from that. And at the end of the day, Anambra State were exempted not to submit their small arms. You see, these are the ways.
What about those people operating in the, in wilderness?
These people are using these arms to protect the citizens and the properties. Now, if you are talking about these illegal arms, we should talk about the bandits, the Fulani herdsmen.
Who is supplying them those arms?
That is the thing. How do they have access to these arms? Because we know that most of these arms are not even produced in Nigeria.
But this issue now, I think the Chief of Defense Staff, his concern should not be just to come and give us information, but
Yes.
What have you done?
Yes, to make every effort to mop up. You are Chief of Defense Staff. You know what that means.
Yes.
In Nigeria.
And funny enough, even the bandits, they complain, or rather, the uniform personnel complain that most of these bandits, that their arms is even more powerful
Than theirs. Of course, we see them.
And you know that allocations are being released every year to acquire arms to fight insecurity in this country. Now, what do they do with those financial allocations being allocated to this?
Do you think budgets allocated to arms should be probed over the years?
Of course, it should. Of course, it should. Most times, even from the budget, most times, if you find out that the allocation of this to purchase arms are being released 2 or 3 times in a year, and you keep asking, what is going on? So you see, they have to ask themselves the questions, and they have to answer the questions by themselves.
Okay. Ask the questions and answer the questions through probing. Okay, now we go to Vanguard. There we have, 2027, Tinubu mocks coalition as Iwalda emerges APC chairman. We also have PDP zones presidency to the south. LLPC okays lawyers for elevation to SAN rank. 57 lawyers for elevation to SAN rank. I'm not afraid of visiting any state. P2B replies, Opevulo. They told me it's Opevulo, not Opebulo, and I'll be calling it Opebulo. Okay, now insecurity. 500 million small arms, light weapons circulating in West Africa. This is a clear vision. Says the CDS, chief of the, I don't know. And they have all this data and nothing is being done. Okay, I think that's much you can take from that. Let's go over to the next paper, which is The Guardian. Here on The Guardian, we have the screaming headline, How Unchecked Dietary Supplements Turn Toxic, Lure Many to Early Grave. This, I think, is a feature or something, maybe an investigative.
Big story.
Too much of good things. They run belly. Okay, so up at the masthead, we have deaths 1.1 trillion naira subsidy dollarized operations threaten energy transition. And TCN replaces chairman, cites governance concerns. Then going down, we have this. EU editors partner to raise awareness on impact of fake news. This fake news, it don't too much for Niger. Then ADC, CUPP kicks as Tinubu labels opposition coalition of confusion. We are not against coalition to unseat Tinubu in 2024. Okay, and then Makinde unveils Oyo's tourism blueprint at a summit. Killings, Fulani avenging injustice in Plateau, says Headers Group. Can you imagine? Killings, Fulani avenging injustice in Plateau, says Headers Group. I think we should start from there.
It could be what they had them say. But let's take it. Okay, there's no visual. You would have seen this picture in front of the Guardian where all the people are walking into supplement store while balanced diet shop is left. Nobody is going there.
I wonder
and that speaks volume. Eat balanced diet before you look for supplement.
Okay, so let's start from the Fulani herdsmen thing. He's now exonerating themselves from blame that they are avenging and killing people. Who hurt you? How did it start and where?
When this insecurity started, the government didn't put much attention to that. And if they want to avenge for anything, they should take it to the government of the day. Because if you are talking about food scarcity, it is a responsibility of the government of the day. Because once there is an insecurity in a state or in a community or anywhere, there will be no progress. Because one of the things that brings in much progress is security of life and properties. Now, let's take Rivers State as a case study. When there was issues between the governor and the FCT minister, the state was not progressing. So I believe that this statement from the headers is being sponsored, but we are yet to find out who sponsored this speech or the statement, because what they are avenging for has no cause. It's just a statement that has no proof yet. And also, what they are avenging for is what is not even in existence. So that is where we have to look into. Now, coming to the health and supplements, whatever thing issue, is that Nigeria already has a poor health sector. Now, people are being convinced or deceived that one or two supplements that you take, it boosts immune and the rest of them, without telling Nigerians the implication of this overdose of
balancing
yes,
the statement or whatever.
Now, I will bring a case whereby a health issue was diagnosed on someone in Nigeria here. Now, supplements and drugs were taken. And then at the end of the day, the person was not getting better. Now, the person had to go to abroad for further medical attention. Now, on getting there, he was told that for now, whatever thing that is supplement, drugs, or whatever thing should be suspended.
But they will tell you that supplement doesn't cure any.
Should be suspended.
That's what should be suspended.
Okay.
Are you getting me? That these are becoming overdose and it has started affecting the kidney and the liver. Are you getting me? Now the person has to spend more time taking fruits, vegetables, and water. And when the person passes out urine, you perceive these drugs. That's it.
Coming out, drugs that he took a long time ago.
Yes. So you see, These are the things that they don't tell us, that the too much intake of these drugs and supplements has its own implication. But at that time, it will enhance the system, do its duty. Now, taking it should be taken at its right proportion. So that's the thing. Now, we are being deceived without telling us that eating balanced diet is the best medicine or medication to take.
That's a good one.
All right, let's move on now to Daily Trust newspaper. Let's see stories. Okay, is there any other?
You know, where the there's, I think we read it in one of the papers before. I saw it in this one that we just read, where Tinubu was mocking the coalition. I mean, mocking them as in what? You know,
and a lot of stories there also says we are not against coalition to unseat Tinubu in 2027. I don't know actually who is saying this. But
it's from SUPP.
Okay.
You know, since the mention of this coalition, Tinubu has not been steady. He has not been himself. And before this coalition, he was saying, he made a statement that there is no strong opposition in his government. And after that, after some days, he said that he needs a formidable opposition. Now this opposition is rising. He's complaining, running from pillar to post, making statements. So we don't know that. We don't know if these statements are out of fear.
Man is like you forgot the Igbo adage that said, "Oh, so
But the thing is that from
we want to uproot you
from the president's camp. There have been, these back and forth statements and all this showing that something is happening.
Something is happening because the people that are in this formation of this coalition are strong people that we know.
That you can't just stray away.
That we can't just stray away. Even the likes of Amechi, that if you think that it's not that easy. Erofai, His Excellency Atiku, His Excellency P2B, and more people will join this coalition without, and so you've not known.
Even those working on the ground.
Yes, even those that are just waiting for the dying minute to decamp from APC to join. These are the things. Because, and you know that one of the things is that Tinubu knows the force of coalition because he was one that formed the coalition of APC. That removed PDP.
He was the one that taught them.
Yes. So he knows he knows the strength of coalition and what it can do. So I believe that this coalition, he never saw it coming at this time. I never saw it coming this way. I know that P2B joining the coalition is moving in with the obedience movement, because this obedience movement is not a particular political party. It's just like its own structure. Yes. So when these people, and once they are coming in with their structures. And you know that their structures are from the federal down to the grassroots. So if you're coming in with your structures and this, you find out that APC has no chance or chances of winning this election come 2027 if all these people should form this their coalition.
Now that you said that people are still joining, this morning it was in the news that INEC said they have more 57 political parties that have not been registered.
Yes.
Do you understand? So nobody knows if they are after registration, they will now enter ADC. I don't know. ADC, the fear of ADC is the beginning of wisdom.
All right, let's see stories of Daily Trust and of course Nigerian Tribune. On the Daily Trust, we have Tinubu marginalizing North in resources allocation. That's coming from Kwankwaso. Why PDP moved convention from Kano to Oyo? Applications for new parties hit 144. Dismissed soldier sentenced to death by hanging for robbery. Why APC selected Nentawe as chairman? 19-year-old woman arrested for allegedly killing 2 minors. At Babio Bamidele clash over leadership style. And of course, our journalist was killed in Kogi. We move to the next paper quickly. The Nigerian Tribune, APC chairman Yewata's emergence alters zoning structure. Two NEC officers affected. I need your cooperation to, I can't see that very well. To lead the party, that's why Minister pleads with stakeholders. Okay, PDP holds national, we've seen that story before. Nigeria working with Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso to fight cross-border insecurity. The same CDS still talking. Now, FG improves energy transmission capacity with 50.4 megawatts in Ibadan. Okay, Makinde announces, sorry, I can't see that story. 10th Memorial Symposium for Oni Sijuwade holds today in Lagos. Okay, ADC to Tinubu. Okay, a reply from ADC. Diplomacy not a side hustle. Insist absence of Nigerian ambassadors, a key global capital embarrassing.
Okay, so this health issue about more than 1,300 died globally from contaminated medicine, according to WHO and UNODC. There's contamination of medicine. We'll talk about fake and adulterated drugs, yes, and then now we're talking about contaminated medicine. Sometimes you walk the streets, and I think it's against the law. You walk the streets, you see people selling capsules. And
even people carry it on their head. They hawk it. Some people carry it on their head.
That's what I'm saying.
And hawk it.
You remember, let me just share something with you. I noticed that when you sell bread, it's not covered, and then, you know,
flies.
No, sun directly
hits it.
When you have a smell of it, it smells as if, even if it was produced today, it smells as if it's bad. And each time I see it, I said, some chemical reactions will be going on that, you know, simple food that we eat. So contamination, how can we, okay, sometimes, like when there was a time I went to Cross River State, the law in Cross River State is that even if you're selling gari, you must cover it with cellophane.
Okay.
Transparent cellophane. Then this fish, smoked fish that people carry about, you don't try it in Cross River State because it could be contaminated. How can we get ourselves out of it, especially from Anambra State?
You know, we have to, first of all, put a law to that, to work on that. And moreover, the mindset of people, educate people on the implication of all these hawking. Maybe I know that you may say that that the government wants to stop their way of getting it. But it's always advisable that if you want to get anything, go to the shop or supermarket, buy your product. If it's medicine, you go to the pharmacy, buy your medications, and then you go home. And all these things, you know, the contamination is caused when this particular item or drugs is not properly covered or sealed. That is when the contamination takes place. So, and apart from that too, the health practitioners too should also check these medications that are being administered to patients. Some will keep in their stores, and at the end of the day, close to expiry date, they bring out and administer to patients. We've seen cases of patients being administered not really fake, but expired drugs and the rest of them. These are the things that they have to educate them on.
Can we look at the statement coming from Kwankwaso that Tinubu is marginalizing the North in resources allocation?
You know, the marginalization, except if he's saying that on the aspect of opposition, or he's saying that because it's a fact. But when the South complained about Buhari's administration marginalizing them, the likes of Kwankwaso refuted it, that it's not the truth. So now it has gotten to the south and it's coming from him. So he shouldn't yell. He should stop yelling. After all, he's a leader. If they yes, he should stop yelling. Yes, he should stop. After all, they're not just finished their 8 years. It's not even up to 3 years or so. Or less, yes, it's not up to 3 years that the South took over. So he shouldn't yell. After all, coming to the South, the Southeast are supposed to produce the presidency. We are not complaining, even though we are not seeing much of this administration in the Southeast. But recently, we started seeing. So he shouldn't yell. Only thing, he's a leader, he's an elder statesman of the North. If he feels that they are being marginalized, he should talk to the presidency and then reach a gentleman agreement, and then things will be fixed.
You know what, while you were talking, I was just imagining, he's yelling. He's yelling. Don't you think they are not supporting, it's now the turn of the South, and they are not even supportive of the South, because these 2 years, insecurity from people from that side has actually made the president not to be focused. It's even getting higher and more increased. Why can't such leaders talk to their people?
That is
and calm them down.
Most times I've said that fighting insecurity, you will not put 100% blame on the president. You won't. First of all, the person that should answer the question is the governor, because it's happening in a state. Now it's not only for the governor to hold the commissioner of police, head of the zonal of barracks or whatever thing responsible. Now you bring it, you narrow it down to your local government chairman of the community and the local government where this insecurity is happening. Are you getting me? So one person has been in their position. Even while he was in their position, he was supporting APC in the past administration. So that's why I say that he's yelling, because this is what you supported. When the South complained about Buhari, there was no federal character in our marginalization, especially in the Southeast. When we complain, what the likes of one person says that Buhari's administration is the best that has happened to the North. So now, allow the South to enjoy the dividends of good governance. So stop yelling, Mr. Kwankwaso.
Please, can we look at this story? There are some things you see in the pages of our papers. I think is
it Tribune?
No, 19-year-old woman arrested for allegedly killing 2 minors. 19-year-old. What do we call
One
this?
of the stories we're going to trend today on Catch the Buzz, a young man, in fact, Abamolugo, 18 or something, but I know he's a young man, wanted to buy his parents so that he would take money. Things like that. Where is our moral, what's it called? Where are our morals? Where are we? Our values? Do we need to be reorientated about this?
If you're talking about this reorientation, let's start with the schools. Are you getting me? We don't have functional educational sector in this country. We don't have. If you compare and contrast the education of today, the education of early 80s and 90s is far better. And you find out that these are the people that have these morals in the society because of the education that they have from home and in the school. Now we no longer talk about moral instruction in our schools. Most times, it's not if people can afford materials to go to school. In public schools. I'm not talking about the private schools.
Are you forgetting people going to other people's homes to pick them? Your class will just come to your house when you do something wrong.
I had this conversation with someone online this morning, and he was just saying that in those days, students were challenged. Do you understand?
Yes.
And we never had, some of these apps Like you can just go in and say, hey, give me this, chat, GPT, AI and all this. They never had it. You're given an assignment to research through it. But this time around, people don't do researches. They just, like now you're telling us stories that we don't even know because you read ardently. Do you understand? Yesterday we hosted a supervisor from UNIZIC supervising students on, is it internship or industrial attachment? So he was telling them, you have to learn about this. Go to Google, read for yourself. But if you're stuck somehow on somewhere, you can now consult AI. But what we do is we go straight to AI and it just, vomits. You don't even investigate and find out, if those things AI is telling you, they are real.
I don't know if you can take the last paper before we wrap up.
Just one story out of it, if it's new, so that we can now go.
I still want to finish up on that aspect.
Okay, go ahead.
And also the economy is also contributing to that because parents now don't have time for their children. All they think about is the way of survival.
Is that an excuse?
Ma'am,
is
coming
that an
in.
excuse?
No, you know, the first place where a child learns is from the home. And once that child doesn't learn anything from home, whatever thing that the child learns outside, he or she brings it to the home. And when he brings it to the home, he gives it back to the society where he learned it from. So you see, if we should have good economy, and moreover, just as you said then, that the students are challenged. You find out that when a student performs well, that student is being given scholarship to further more. But today, we only get this scholarship to further more.
All right, we can actually go
Let's just take just one story.
I think our time is fast spent. The producer, the other side, is asking us to round off. You can't stay longer than that. We'd like to thank you so much, Mandy, for being here this morning. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Ify. Thank you, Noye, for having me.
All right, and that's it on the press review. Do sit back because we are returning with more on Good Morning Anambra.
This morning, today is World
Drowning Day.
World Day Against Drowning. And very soon we'll bring in somebody who's been affected by that incident where his brother died while swimming. So join us so that we'll learn ways of preventing drowning. Thank you.